Ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube lanes, it's your boy Tuglo, and today we're going to play a little bit of a prediction game, and I'd love to hear what y'all have to say and, kind of speculate and think as well. This kind of comes from the episode that we just got, which is going to be the Ryu episode. Now, I have not read any of the light novels. I haven't played this particular story. I haven't done any Google researching as far as, potential hints or anything like that, or spoilers or stuff like that. I hate spoilers for the series, so this is just pure guess, pure prophecy. I'm prophesying what's gonna happen. All right, so I'd love to hear what y'all think. Like I said, down in the comment section below, or just hit me up on Twitter, whatever the case may be. Let's go ahead and get into it now. The one thing that we came into Danmachi Memoria Freese when the game first started is we already had the Lafia banner, and the episode, and we had the Eyes episode as well. And I assume the game just started out with the Bell episode. So I also haven't played JP because I'm gonna need to have that said for this prediction. So I believe my assumption is that when these two stories got added into JP, I think based off of the timeline video, which I'll have a link in the description, I think that they got added at separate times. I don't know the time, length, but I think it went Eyes, then it was just a few episodes here and there, like maybe 3 episodes every X amount of time, or, however many episodes, X amount of time. I think that's how it went. So with the Ryu story, I had somebody that finished it, and he says, shout out to Nico, you know who you are, there's a thin dot to be continued ... screen at the end of this episode. So that can only mean to me maybe this casino episode ends and then they'll continue on with the Ryu story, whether it be her origin, where she came from, and I'm going into detail about the anime, the people that she killed and how she found Mamma Mia and all them, things of that nature. I assume that this is where her story might lead. So if we can take this assumption and go forward with it, my next episode, that we might get, assumption, prediction, prophecy, is gonna be Philvis. Now, the reason why I say it, she might not be a super popular character, but I feel like there is a lot of lore and history that you can go into with Philvis. Now, you could say, why not Reveria? Well, Reveria, at least to me, she seems like she's been a good girl for most of her time. At least from what we see portrayed, nothing has really gone in depth with her in the Sword Oratoria and the normal Danmachi series. So what we do see is we see Philvis being talked about, the nightmare on floor 27. This nightmare talks about how she gets her nickname, the Banshee, and she's basically like, yo, I think it was like they got some traps set up, and then she was the only person to survive, and every time somebody groups with her, she's the only person to survive, and she's the only one from that incident. Come to find out later, things change, things happen, whatever the case may be. But this is where it gets interesting to me, looking at it from a, kind of game development aspect. Not only can you go into the nightmare on floor 27, you can also then take it even further back in time and say, hey, here's some lore from the land of the elves. Here's where Reveria becomes known. Here's where, Lafia, you can kind of see interactions with Lafia and Reveria. This is how Philvis kind of strayed from whatever path that she may have taken, to not really be with them as much. And she went with her own familia or her own guild or path of training, whatever the case may be. So I feel like there's a lot that you can potentially make up. Now you say, why are you doing this with Philvis? Why aren't you, trying to predict what's going to happen with Ryu? Man, I don't know. I don't know anything about Ryu. I know that she killed a lot of people and she's blacklisted from the guild. That much I know from the Grand Day story event that's going on right now. So they could take, you know, the origins, they could, you know, take it back all the way. I mean, hell, they could even take the approach that I just said, use the back story of the elves and use Ryu instead of Filvis there. But this the whole Nightmare of Floor 27. You know, I think we got how many episodes? We got 29 here, 19 here, and 19 here. I feel like, you know, you could get maybe 15, maybe, you know, 12 with Filvis. Make that normal, hard and very hard. Hey, that's a good bit of Iris right there. Now, will they do this? I'd have no idea. This is, like I said, just a prophetic assumption, guess, whatever you want to call it. I'm just trying to be fancy with it. But Filvis, to me, has a lot of potential with her story, and I feel like that would be, you know, someone that's pretty cool to look into. The last thing that I do want to say about that is, when will that be coming? No time soon. They still have a lot of work to do with the Ryu story. From what I've been told, there are only 3 chapters or 3 episodes to this, so, you know, they've got plenty of room to work with. When could the next one be implemented? I don't know. It could be, you know, after Grand Day. It could be right before we get the Familias, and then it'll say, hey, we got the Familia coming out, and then we have the rest of the Ryu story coming out. I don't know what the case is with it. It could be following some type of light novels that they're setting out in JP right now, in Japan. So they've got a lot of different things that I just do not know about that could influence their decisions, but the one thing, like I said, Filvis, Nightmare on Floor 27, 2019. I'm not going to give a month, but 2019, because they have to give enough time for this to finish, unless they just, like, blow through content and get it all done super quick, which, you know, they could easily do that. But that's my prediction. I'd love to hear y'all's, you know, if it's not Filvis, I think the next person that I would like to see kind of go into would maybe be, you know, I haven't thought about this, so maybe the next person, we could go into the gods, man. You know, take it, you know, you get a little bit of, you know, Loki familiar, or the Loki goddess. You know, we could look into Freya for one chapter, you know, things of that nature. You just have a chapter about the gods, and then, you know, one episode, like let's say, for instance, episode 19 would be Loki, then episode 18 would be Freya, 17 Hesti, you know, stuff like that. You know, you could go on and on and on, but yeah, I didn't really think of that that question until just now, so I just kind of bamboozled myself. But let me know who y'all think could be the next story. I think it's Filvis, a lot of potential, and I'm really curious to see what y'all have to say. So thank y'all so much for watching. I really do appreciate that support a lot. That's all I got for this video. So, as y'all know, that's the fat lady singing. That's the bells are ringing. And until the next video, I hope you have an awesome day, and I will see you in the next one. God bless and peace out.